welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for September the 9th through September the Let me see. Through September the 15th. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for all the wonderful sentiments and for your patience and your support and loyalty during this really difficult time. As most of you know, my brother passed away last week, so I just needed some time, alone in solitude to kind of contemplate my feelings around that. So I really, really appreciate you. And these readings are dedicated to my brother Michael. I know he would have said, get on with it, So that's what I'm doing. It doesn't mean I don't get sad at times, but the show must go on. And anyway, these readings are for the collective, guys. So take what resonates and leave the rest. If you're new, welcome. I really hope you enjoy these readings and that you come back. If you would like a personal, more tailored reading, you may click on this link here or go to my website. And all the links for everything is in the show more section below, the description box. I will have links to the other videos in there because this is for your sun, moon and rising. So check out the other videos. And I also have a Facebook group that's closed, and the link to that will be there. And every other week I do a live feed just for that group, and we talk. I look at the aspects and how usually it's a full moon and a new moon. That's how I do it every 2 weeks, and we look at your sign and how you will be impacted by that celestial sky at the time. And I also do, answer questions with the tarot, so that we have fun in that group. So, join the group. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and please like, share and comment on my videos. I'd really appreciate that. Now my videos come in 3 sections: the intro, which is this, then the astrological reading, and then the tarot. And there are skip times for each section in the show more section below, so you'll be able to skip, especially if you're checking out your sun, moon and rising. And another way to support this channel is through Patreon, and I really want to thank my patrons. I really appreciate you. Thank you for believing in me and supporting me. And I especially want to thank Hillary Smith, has been so generous and so kind during this time, and Joe Lamar. He's also been extremely generous and kind and checking in on me, and Beth, thank you so much. Beth has been extremely generous and caring and kind. So everyone's been very kind. I'm very, very fortunate to have such wonderful and incredible people in my life, and I'm really thankful for that from the bottom of my heart. So without further ado, let's go to the astrology section, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrological portion of your reading for the week of September the 9th through the 15th. And what a dynamic celestial sky we have this week. It is incredible. At the beginning of the week, we start off with a stellium of planets in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. It's a mutable sign, which means it's kind of flexible and, it sways, it moves here and moves there. There are 4 planets in Virgo at the beginning of the week. By the end of the week, 2 of those planets will move into Libra. So that will be Mercury and Venus. So they move from this very kind of heavy, grounded earth sign into a very light intellectual air sign. But more about that later, because the big news this week is the full moon in Pisces on the 13th or 14th of September, which is the Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are on the planet. Now, the full moon, as most of you know, is when the sun is opposite the moon. In fact, it is the sun that is reflecting on the moon that gives the moon the light. The moon doesn't have any light of its own per se. It just reflects the moon, the light from the sun. So a full moon is the completion of the lunar cycle. So it is the culmination of the cycle. It's a time, it's the crescendo, if you will. It rules our emotions. So we're very affected by the moon, and it's very close to the Earth. It's the closest planet to the Earth, so we definitely feel that. And it's a very fast-moving planet. That's why they say, you know, Cancerians are ruled by the moon, right? And that, you know, they call them moody because the moon, you know, moves very fast, faster than any other planet. So they go through moods quickly. Now, the full moon is a really good time to let go, to slough off your emotions, to forgive yourself, forgive others, to let go of something that needs to go, to allow that to move away, to just let it go. Sometimes it's good to look at what we started at the new moon and see how far we've come. Has it completed? Whatever we planned or started at the first moon, at the new moon, I mean, can come to a culmination at the full moon. Now, on Friday, the 13th, this is before the full moon in Pisces. And I just want to mention, right, so the moon is in Pisces and the sun is in Virgo. Virgo, as I said before, is this grounding, mutable energy. And Pisces is a mutable energy also. It's watery. It's the most sensitive of all signs. It's the oldest sign in the zodiac. It is a completion of the zodiac, if you will. So where Virgo is very practical and grounding and analytical and, you know, problem solving, Pisces is kind of very ethereal. There's a connection with the ethereal realm. It's like having one foot in the ethereal realm and one foot on the ground, right? And Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is actually next to this moon at the time. So the thing about Neptune is this is a really spiritual and what do I want to say? Psychic, intuitive full moon. This is when we tap into our intuition. You know, it's where logic and intuition come into play. It's almost like the head and the heart come together, and you can really make intelligent decisions. It's really a wonderful time for meditation, for connecting with the higher realm. Not only that, okay, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So Mercury is, so on Friday before Mercury and Venus move into Libra, they are together in Virgo, what we call conjunct. And their energies are melding, right? And they are, you know, Venus is about relationships, and Mercury is about conversation. It's about communication. This is a communicating full moon. It is an intuitive full moon. It's so powerful. This is really important. This is an incredible time. It's almost like epiphanies can happen during this time, because the sun is also on that same day, on Friday, actually at 3:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sun trines Pluto. Now, 333, means the angels and the ascended masters are surrounding you, right? And this is so what's happening. The sun, the creator, right? Godlike. And you've got Pluto from the underworld, but really, a power. It's a power dynamic. This is strong and powerful. And it's in a trine is a beautiful relationship. So this is a wonderful opportunity to be empowered, to look at your own personal power, to go within, to seek guidance from the ethereal realm, from spirit, from the angels, to connect with them. I mean, this is just it's so incredible. Now, when when this full moon happens, right, we have all of this, what I like to call a cosmic soup happening. We have this, what we call a T-square in astrology, and this means that it's like a very kind of wide triangle, if you will, from the full moon to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is about expansion. It's about, spirituality. It's about the higher realms. It's higher learning, right? And it's in a contentious relationship with the moon and the sun at the same time. Now, squares are kind of motivators, right? They're contentious, but there's a breaking point, right, where they break apart, and then something wonderful comes out of it. So squares are motivators. They're not really, they're not a bad aspect. They are, as I said before, motivators. So this is a really okay, so I get really excited. This is a really wonderful opportunity to connect with spirit, to go within, to look at what has empowered you in the past and what you need to do going forward. This is kind of epiphanies where you could be doing something and say, wow, you know what? This isn't working for me anymore. It's almost like there's major life-changing decisions for a lot of people, and people will make it. Will make those life-changing decisions. It's about being empowered. It's about doing what's right for you, what's right for everyone, because what's right for you is right for everyone. Now, you must be careful not to let the ego get in. So it's really important to meditate. It's really important to hear. Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening. So all you have to do is to make sure that your pride and ego don't get in the way, and that you humbly go within and search for what's right for you. I mean, this is just such a powerful full moon. It's exciting. Now, Venus, Mercury moves into Libra about 3:15 in the afternoon. And I also want to mention that what's interesting at this full moon is Mercury rules Virgo. And so that's together in the sign with the sun. So this is what's interesting is, right, the ruler of Virgo is next to the sun, and the ruler of Pisces is next to the moon. This makes it even more powerful and stronger. And we will look, Pisces and Neptune is about creativity on the higher scale, right? It's creativity, it's illusion, it's like tapping into the ethereal realm. And on the downside, it can be delusion, it can be foggy, it can take you in daydreams, and it's very difficult to get focused sometimes. Like, I've had to pull myself together. When Neptune is at play, it's you can have a lifetime in a couple of hours, and it's important not to kind of you can get melancholy at this time, and you can get a little sad, and perhaps, especially when the squares are happening, you can get a little fearful. But you have Mars opposite Neptune too, so that kind of gives you, Mars and the Sun, it gives you that kind of energy that you want to get up and you want to do something, and you want. But what's interesting is Pisces is relaxed and chill and contemplate and be creative, and Mars and the Sun is like action and creativity and excitement and fast energy. So you have this push-pull. It's important to remain balanced during this time. And what is lovely is that Venus moves into its home sign of Libra, right? A bit later on that day, after Mercury moves into Libra. And Mercury is about, balance. Mercury is about the intellect, thought process, and communication. And Libra is about balance and diplomacy. And so, your communications become a lot more kind of calmer and balanced and harmonious. And Venus moves into Libra, and that's Venus's home sign. She's very refined in Libra. She's intellectual. She likes to express herself through poetry and music and art. So we will feel that wonderful expression of poetry and art and music. Will get that incredible appreciation for that. And actually, that's a really great way to channel that energy. And if you're a writer or you're into the visual arts, this is perfect energy for you to move forward. But all in all, this really powerful full moon, prepare for it. Do a full moon ritual, charge your crystals. Do a ritual, meditate during it. I'm going to go out and I will meditate in the outdoors under this moon. I will moon bathe and I will meditate under this full moon, because we are going to make such amazing connections during this time. Thank you, guys. Let's go to your tarot reading, shall we? Hello, Aries, and welcome to your reading for September the 9th through September the 15th. Thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate your loyalty and your support during this time. I really do. Really, you don't know how helpful your comments and sentiments help me through this difficult time, my brother passing away. So here we are. We have this magical full moon, and let's see what the cards have in store for you. Okay. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries for this coming week? 3 cards for Aries, please. 3 cards for Aries. Ooh. Oh, lovely. Oh, very nice. Oh, Aries. I'm jealous. Okay, let's go to the clarifying cards. These are clarifying cards for Aries. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Aries through these clarifying cards? Please clarify. Oh, don't know, I should do 2, yeah. 2 fell out, I'll do 2. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And please clarify. Oh, lovely. Please clarify. Oh, gosh, the whole deck fell out there, I think. You have a lot of messages here, darling. What's going on with you? Okay, please clarify. Oh, there you go. Brilliant. All right, my darlings, let's look at this. So the first card out for you is the Lover's card. I love this one. It really is Mars and Venus, this particular card in this deck. I mean, look at it. It's very passionate. Well, you can't see it very well. It's very passionate. It's the soldier and the lover and the lights coming down. So this is chemistry. Now, you could possibly meet someone, and it can be likely, you know, Venus is moving into Libra at the end of the week. That's possible love connections. And the moon is very kind of romantic as well. So this full moon can bring could make someone appear, or your relationship could get to a new level. Sometimes this means a decision. And for some of you, that might be the case. Now, it's interesting because then you have two cards clarifying this. You have the Devil card, which represents a Capricorn. But also the Devil card represents being tied to the material realm. It can be addiction. It could be codependency. It can be drinking too much, eating too much. And we do have to be extremely careful of that with this T-square with Jupiter. Jupiter's about expansion. More. And it will expand whatever you focus on. So we want to be a little, what's the word I want to say? A little conservative. That's the word I want to say. Now, you also have, so this is what I'm getting for you, Aries. You also have the Page of Wands, which is a wonderful opportunity, right? This is, you know, pages are messengers, so you can have an opportunity that comes up. And it also means that you're ready to move on to the next phase of your life. I am getting that some of you are in relationships and you need to kind of be careful of being addicted to that person, for codependency, for obsessing over them. So some of you may be obsessing over someone, and really it's letting that go. And sometimes it's very hard when I've been there. I think all of us have been there at some point. We've been obsessed over someone. But this sometimes is letting go moment by moment even. So this is, when you start thinking of them, do something to distract you. Reach for a better feeling thought. That's what Esther and Jerry Hicks, Jerry's no longer on this plane, but it's the law of attraction. Reach for a better feeling thought, because this doesn't feel good. It's like, what are they thinking? What are they doing? Are they thinking about me? Are they doing more? And it's just that craziness going over and over in your head. So, and it's being tied to that. It's like you can't focus on anything else. You're just focused on that aspect of it. Are they going to call me? Are they going to call me? You're texting them. They didn't text me back. Why didn't they text me back straight away? I mean, it's that kind of energy. So be aware of that and really distract yourself, because with Neptune at play here, you can kind of go down the rabbit hole and maybe not come up. And this indicates that you're ready to move on. So it's about choosing a different path. It's moving on and being different and responsible and knowing your limitations. And this is a time of reflection and of moving forward, the new you. It's a transformational full moon. I didn't probably say that, but that's what this moon is. It's about changing ourselves, changing, awakening. Oh, I'm telling you, a new earth awakening, a new earth, Eckhart Tolle. If you haven't read it, read it, read it. It's funny because, I've had it for, it's a 10-year anniversary, apparently. There's a 10-year anniversary issue coming out. And And it's really fascinating. And I picked it up a few weeks ago, and I've been reading it, and it's just, it's a really amazing book. So if you haven't read that, read that, because that will help you actually through this, Aries. A new earth, awakening to your life purpose. That's what it is. And challenges, right, help us grow. These are challenges that will help us grow and move forward differently. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is like a new beginning. I really feel that there's a new beginning here for you. And look, you have the Six of Wands clarifying this wonderful new beginning for you. The Ace of Pentacles is manifesting in your life in this three-dimensional plane something very new and wonderful, right? Lucrative. It doesn't have to be lucrative as in money, but it can be enriching your life somehow. And look, the Six of Wands, you are being celebrated. I feel that you just have to be a little cautious of being too tied to the material realm, because you are moving on to something really incredible. You know, the Six of Wands is you being celebrated. It's you getting the accolades. It's something that you've completed and you are getting rewards for. Awards. I mean, you know, some of you will get awards, some of you will get rewards, but it's a rewarding feeling. I mean, it can be as little as your boss saying in front of everyone, you did a fabulous job and I really appreciate you. It could be something like that. It could be a child saying you're the best mum, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandmother, grandfather, whatever it is. This is a public display of celebration of you, public accolades. Now, then you have the Three of Wands, and it's like your ship's come in, darling. This is really about being optimistic, and we have to really discipline ourselves to be optimistic during this time, because we will have moments perhaps of despair and fear a little bit, you know, not knowing what the future is. But if you have an optimist look, if your ship has come in, you would make long-term optimistic plans, right? So you have to, it's the law of attraction. You've got to act like your ship's in. It's like looking at the future optimistically. You know, waiting on the dock for your ship to be unloaded. It's not waiting for your ship to appear, right? It's waiting for it to get unloaded with all the riches. And look, there you have the Sun, the optimistic card yet again. The Sun is exalted in your sign, Aries. This is a very positive, wonderful, auspicious card. Look to the future optimistically. Be positive. Even, look, as I said, I keep getting reach for a better feeling thought. So if you find yourself going down into that, those feelings of fear, uncertainty, and because there are so much mutable energy, it's kind of a little unstable. So it feels a little unstable. It may feel a little unstable this week, but be optimistic, because out of that instability comes amazing, wonderful things. Some, you know, motivation will be motivated. The energy is going to be there, particularly towards the end of the week. I think you are going to feel completely energized, but you are going to feel very passionate. You've got Mars and Venus and Virgo, right? So you just have to be aware of not to overdo anything. Not to get too caught up in a relationship. Don't get too caught up. Don't obsess over anything. Don't overdo anything. Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, and social media, anyone, neighbors. I don't want to, you know, fall backwards. I was on a nice momentum then, and, you know, so I would really appreciate your help. And comment. I always answer every comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.